Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, great. Okay. How are you doing? Should I not ask this question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let us start. Let whatever happened in the past, I don't know. I don't want to know about it. Hopefully, everything goes well in your case. Okay. So we have 1 hour. Okay. And then we will cover we will brush up on all the topics. Okay. Once, just like a, see, what you have to check is two things. One, whether you are able to see the picture of it. Whatever I say, let's say law of diminishing marginal utility. You should get a downward sloping marginal utility line and an upward sloping total utility which falls down. Okay. Either you have to get the picturization, visualization of the topic or an example. Let's say I'll say ad valorem tariff. I'll say specific duty. Are you able to recollect some example for that? Okay. If yes, your conceptual clarity is good. Okay. So that will help you to score marks because that will help you to tick on the right option. Am I clear? So for next few uh, you know probably 40 minutes we will go through all the topics. Hmm? And then we will discuss about how confidently write the economics paper. Okay. So 1 second. Second. Let me share it. Okay. As name says, let us refresh to relax. Okay. Okay. So chapter 1 is about nature and scope of business economics. Basically, it dealt with the definition of business economics, nature, micro and macro, scope, difference between economics and business economic, what business economics is all about, basic problems of an economy, and different types of economies. Right? Is there any doubt? Okay. And so around 5% of the questions will come from this chapter. And then chapter 2, theory of demand and supply. So in theory of demand and supply, very important chapter, around 10% comes from this chapter, and we would discuss the demand, supplies meaning, determinants of demand and supply, demand function, curve, law of demand, law of supply, exception to the law, expansion and contraction, elasticity of demand. So do you remember, I have always told you that whenever we are going to discuss about, whenever you're going to study about demand and supply, learn it together in comparison to each other so that you will one, it will re-ensure your understanding of the two topics very clearly, and whatever confusion you had, that would just vanish because you are comparing it with another topic. Okay, so movement along the demand curve, upward movement in demand is contraction, whereas upward movement in supply is expansion. So you won't get that, confusion whether it is expansion or contraction, because you're studying it together, right? And chapter 3. So this is also chapter 2. Totally comes for 10%. Law of diminishing marginal utility, consumer surplus, indifference curve, marginal rate of substitution, budget line. Okay. And then comes chapter 3. Again 10%. So till chapter 3 we have completed the 25% of the paper. So talks about the factors of production, TPAPMP, the law, the cost concepts. Okay, and then we have chapter 4, 15% from this chapter. Do you remember while teaching this chapter I told you that it is very important from the examination point of view. So uh, talks about different types of market, TRAR, MR, relationship between price elasticity of demand and the revenue concepts, features of different markets, long run, short run equilibrium. And then we have, one second, business cycle around again 5%. So phases of business cycle, economic indicators, features, causes, and all. Then comes the determination of national income. See, fourth chapter was 15%, this is 15%. Two chapters will cover around 30% of your questions. So we have studied concepts of national income, methods, consumption function, demand function, inflationary, deflationary gap, investment multiplier, etc. Public finance, I told you conceptually not very difficult to understand the concept, but the challenge is to remember the concepts because you had lot many new concepts in this chapter, right? So 10%, okay, from public finance. So it could be crowding effect and all. I think chapter 8, the title is wrong, sorry. It has to be about money and banking. Okay, but 10% will come from this. Okay, theories of demand, liquidity trap, measurement of money supply, and then there is credit, creation, credit multiplier, money multiplier, and then objectives of monetary policy. Okay, RBI controlling measures, all of those things. Then chapter 9, again 10% will come. So you can see chapter 7, chapter 8, chapter 9, 10, 10, 10. So theories of international trade. Here also you have understood many different types of agreement among the countries, right? Forms of tariffs, effects of tariffs and all. Okay, and then you have also discussed the balance of payment, devaluation, revaluation, FDI, FPI, differences, its impact, and all of these things. And the last chapter is all about Indian economy. You have to have some history, you have to have some know about the current programs, and then how India has evolved over a period of time. So all of these concepts were discussed in this chapter. Different types of reforms in different sectors, be it fiscal, monetary, industrial, agriculture, service sector, trade, all kind of reforms we did discuss, right? So this is about the overall overview of the syllabus of the business economics at a foundational level. Okay, now some important formulas. Okay, just go through it, relax, go through it, you know it. Demand function, Q is a function of price, income, price of related good, taste and preferences, advertisement, etc. Right? Price elasticity of demand. delta Q divided by delta P into P by Q. Point elasticity. Okay, so or you can also understand is that lower segment divided by upper segment, as I taught you in the class. Arc elasticity, right? You try to know the elasticity between the 2 points. Cross elasticity, advertisement elasticity. So all these things are cross elasticities, delta qx divided by delta py into py by qx. Advertisement, delta qx divided by delta pa into pa by qx. Then TU, summation of MU. What is MU? TUN minus TUN minus 1. MRSXY, marginal rate of substitution. MUX divided by MUY. So when equilibrium, what happens? MRSXY is equal to MUX divided by MUY, which should be equal to the price spent on X divided by price spent on Y, PX by PY. That is at equilibrium. Elasticity of supply, same with as the demand. And theory of cost and production. If A plus B is greater than 1, increasing returns to scale. A plus B is equal to 1, constant returns to scale. A plus B is less than 1, decreasing returns to scale. Average product, TP by L, MP, TPL minus TPL minus 1, TC, TFC plus TVC, AFC, TFC by Q, AVC, TVC by Q, AC, TC by Q, MC, TCN minus TCN minus 1. And revenue concept, AR, TR by Q. And how do you calculate TR? P into Q. MR, TRN minus TRN minus 1. What is the relationship between MR, AR and elasticity? MR is equal to AR into E minus 1 divided by E. E is price elasticity of demand. If E is equal to 1, MR will be 0. If E is more than 1, MR will be greater than 1. If E is less than 1, MR will be negative. Then remember these diagrams?
Smart.
Yeah. This is about the perfect competition, supernormal profit, normal profit, and losses. National income, GDP deflator is equal to nominal GDP divided by real GDP into 100. Inflation rate in year 2. GDP deflator in year 2 minus GDP deflator in year 1 divided by GDP deflator in year 1 into 100. NDP, domestic to gross to net, always minus depreciation. GNPMP, domestic to national, always add NFIA. What is NFIA? Net compensation of employees' net income from property and entrepreneurship plus net retained earnings. Market price, factor cost plus net indirect taxes. GDPFC, factor cost. GDPMP minus indirect taxes plus subsidies. NDPFC, GDPMP, okay, sorry, NDPFC, compensation of employees plus operating surplus plus mixed income of self-employed. National income, in that personal income, NI plus income received but not earned minus income earned but not received. DI, PI minus personal income minus non-tax payment. Private income, that which comes from the, which is to the private sector. Gross value added, value of output minus intermediate consumption. Money market, there are so many other equations are also from the national income accounting. I hope you remember, you know the logic how to convert. Yes, so MV is equal to PT, MV plus M dash V dash is equal to PT, M is equal to M into MB. Money supply divided by monetary base, M is equal to 1 plus C divided by R plus E plus C. Money supply, M is equal to 1 plus C into H divided by R plus E plus H. Credit multiplier, 1 divided by required reserve ratio. and M1, M2, M3, M4 are legal definition of money. Okay. So this is what broadly we understand. Okay. So we have just covered what are the topics. Are you able to hear me? The bandwidth is low today.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you. So we just went through how many percentage of questions will come from each chapter and important formulas, but they were not the only formulas. There are so many other formulas. With the logic, you would be able to understand. Okay, now we will quickly go through. I hope you have gone through this um, document file. Have you been? Saransh, it is from CA Institute only. They have sent the kind of what to say, the summary of each chapter. You have got this, right? This file also you have got it. So first chapter, 5% of questions will come from this. I'll slowly scroll down. Whatever I feel important, I will be talking about it, but you also look into it, whether you know all these concepts, have you heard of it, do you have any doubt? Okay. This in detail we have discussed this chapter. Yeah, I would like you to go through the difference between general economics and business economics. Yes. This is one slide. I want you to spend a minute on this. That's it. Three problems of an economy and how these three problems are solved in different types of economies. Yes, and then we will move on to demand concept, elasticity of demand. Yes, I want you to focus on this. Because this one slide page shows about all types of price elasticity of demand. If you want me to explain any of the diagram, please let me know. All of you are confident about these diagrams? Good.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Quickly go through bandwagon effect and snob effect. Yes, Trisha. Yes, Trisha.
Ma'am, it was by miss, ma'am.
Okay, okay, not an issue. So, got the difference between bandwagon and snob effect? We have discussed in detail. Okay, and then utility concept. Yes, Sachi?
Ma'am, can you please give a two-line summary of the Veblen effect, ma'am?
A Veblen effect, actually, snob effect is called Veblen is the one who identified the snob mentality of the people.
And so, what is Veblen effect, ma'am?
Snob
Because
effect is the Veblen effect.
because in certain questions they also give the options of Veblen effect along with the snob effect. That's the reason I asked, ma'am.
Yeah, but snob effect is Veblen effect. See, Veblen has identified the snob attitude of the people, so it is called snob effect. But I think in your material they have given it in a different. Would you like? Can you please read it out? The snob and Veblen effect from the caps, not caps material, CA Institute material.
Yes.
Yes. Till you open this, I'll keep moving so that we should not waste time. And this is one important, diagram. Okay, where Q is the equilibrium because a consumer is at higher indifference curve, same budget line. So for a same cost, he gets the greater satisfaction. And then consumer surplus, supply concepts, the determinants of supply curve and equilibrium. Elasticity of supply is just like the elasticity of demand, right?
Yes, ma'am, I got it. Veblen
Huh.
effect. Should I tell it, ma'am?
Yes. You want to read it now?
Oh, you told to read it out.
Ha ha ha. Yeah. No. Okay. If you're ready, yes.
Yes, ma'am. Highly priced goods are consumed by
No.
status rich people.
No. You said tell me the heading and then read.
Okay, it's the Veblen effect.
Hmm.
Highly priced goods are consumed by status-seeking rich people to satisfy their needs for conspicuous consumption. This is
Hmm.
called Veblen effect, named after the American economist Austin Veblen. For
Hmm.
example, expensive cars and jewels. The distinction between snob effect and the Veblen effect is that former is the function of the consumption of the others, and latter is the function of price. Yes, ma'am. We conclude
Former
that
is the function of.
consumption of others, and latter is the function of price.
Not really. Not really. See, bandwagon effect is that where others matter a lot, but in a snob effect, it is the unique commodity having prestigious value. It means the price means a lot. Okay. Okay. Would you like to continue? What else is written? Okay. Sachi, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Okay. Sachi, 1 second. Actually, snob effect. See, even in this Saransh that CA Institute has sent, you can very clearly see that it talks about the expensive goods, rarest of the things, right? So the price is there. So Veblen and snob effects largely talk about the same thing. Bandwagon effect is something which talks about the what others do. Am I clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can keep that in your mind. Yes. So now we will move on to the next one. Okay. Um Elasticity of supply and factors of production. Cobb Douglas production function we have discussed. Okay. Three stages. Stage one, law of increasing returns. Stage two, law of diminishing returns. Stage three, law of negative returns. Whereas in the long run, we will have constant increasing and decreasing returns. This is an isoquant where producer will get equal level of output. Iso cost line where the cost would be same for the combination of factor X and Y. And C would be the best combination for a producer because he will be producing the same amount of output for a least cost. Remember? Are you able to recollect all these concepts? Different types of cost: accountable, economic, implicit or explicit, sunk cost, historical cost, etc., and short run cost and long run cost. And in short run, we have just discussed in the formulas. Short run has AFC, TFC, TVC, TC, AFC, ABC, SAC, SMC, and all. In the long run, you will have only long run average cost and long run marginal cost. And then we have economies of scale, the advantages and disadvantages that the firms will enjoy because of the increased scale of production or increased the size. External economies and diseconomies. Then comes very important chapter that is market. 15% will come from this. Different types of market. Yes, I want you to go through this quickly because it talks about the entire different types of market and its features. If you have any doubt, please let me know. Okay, I hope you are able to understand this. You know different types of market and its unique features. And yeah, the simultaneous shift in demand and supply, change in demand and supply. What happens when supply being constant, demand increases, supply being constant when demand decreases, supply being demand being constant when supply increases. Please understand that when supply curve shift towards right or downwards, it means increase in supply. supply being demand being constant when supply decreases, both demand and supply increases. Do you remember all of these things? They are important. Then we have in a perfect competition equilibrium. Individual seller always a price taker, so horizontal straight line. Conditions for equilibrium. MC curve must cut MR curve from below. MC should be equal to MR. All of these concepts. Monopoly market where AR and MR curve are different and they slope downwards. Supernormal profit, loss can be seen in these diagrams. This is price discrimination in different submarkets. Okay, I want you to read this first degree, second degree, and third degree price discrimination. Did you go through the 3 different degrees of price discrimination? Yeah? Okay. And monopolistic competition, abnormal profit and loss, and in the long run, you will see the normal profit. Oligopoly, the unique features of oligopoly, price leadership, king to demand curve, interrelated firms. And then business cycle, 5% will come from this, but please do understand that though first and the fifth chapter comes for 5%, together it becomes 10%. It is as good as some other chapter, right? So you cannot ignore it. Okay? 4 different phases of business cycle. Causes, internal and external causes. And you also need to know the features of these phases. What happens in peak, what happens in contraction. Okay. Next comes national income accounting. Very important. 15% will come from this chapter. Okay. Formulas are already discussed once, but you can just go through it. Three methods of national income accounting: product method, income method, expenditure method. Limitations of national income, challenges of national income. Keynesian theory of determination of national income. Two-sector model, AD is equal to C plus I. Consumption function. Marginal propensity to consume is important. Delta C divided by delta Y. Two-sector model. Three-sector model where government is an extra one. And four-sector model. where international or external sector is also added. Please go through inflationary and deflationary gap. Excess demand results in increase in the price and inflationary gap takes place. Deficient demand results in decrease in rupees, so the deflationary gap takes place. Public finance, sorry, 10% from this chapter: distribution function, allocation function, stabilization function, government intervention, market failures. There are different types of market failures: market power, externalities, public goods, and incomplete information. Hope you remember all these concepts. Moral hazard, asymmetric information, adverse selection, all these are problem of market failure. Marginal social benefit should be equal to marginal social cost. That's what the public finance focuses on. Fiscal policy related to expenditure, revenue, and debt. Objectives: expansionary fiscal policy, contractionary fiscal policy. Pump priming, that is one time government invests lot of money to boost the private sector. Money demand concept, functions, characteristics, and theories. You can see the functions of money. Importance of money supply, legal definition of money. M1 is a narrow money, M3 is a broad money. Liquidity aggregates, money multiplier concept, money supply concept, monetary policy, quantitative and qualitative objectives, analytics of monetary policy. Direct instruments like cash reserve ratio, liquidity reserve ratio, open market operation, repo rate, standing facilities. So we have discussed this in detail. Theories of external trade, the 9th chapter, again for 10%. Specific tariff, ad valorem tariff, anti-dumping duties. So again in this chapter you have many new concepts, non-tariff measures. All you need to know is all the meaning of these things. You can go through this document itself in detail, so that it gives you a lot of bird's eye view and brushes up all your topics. So WTO concerns, exchange rate, how exchange rate is determined, and how the depreciation and appreciation, devaluation and revaluation are different from each other. different new terminologies. You can just go through it and learn it. Foreign exchange market, FDI, FPI are the part of it. Different modes of FDI, greenfield investment, brownfield investment, new overseas affiliated to freshly starting, then it is called greenfield. And then the last chapter is Indian economy. Again, 10% will come from this chapter. Lot of reforms on different sectors. How India coped up with it. Yes. See, in 1 hour we really cannot cover everything, right? So that was not the intention of refresh to relax. It's only to make you feel confident about the topics you already know. There would be some topics you might not be knowing, but do not worry. Just see whether it comes under 15%, 10%, or 5%, and then try to manage it. It's not that in an MCQ paper you are supposed to answer all the questions. Don't do that. In the mock test, Shetty sir was also there in the evaluation. So he has told you, right? So what percentage, how many questions you can take a risk? Maximum 5, not more than that. Because negative marking is there, it depends on how many questions you are very confident about. Okay, so it depends on your confidence level. So if you very well know that 70 questions you have done is absolutely right, then you can take a risk of probably 5 or 6. But when you have written only 45 questions, then you don't take risk, right? 50 questions, don't take risk. Okay, so that's very important. And then draw few diagrams or go through few diagrams and understand what these diagrams mean. Okay, so you need to know the shaded area, non-shaded area, what does that mean? And in the macroeconomics, in fiscal policy, monetary policy and all, there are many new concepts. So make sure that you know the meaning of it, because questions will be on the meaning, nothing else. Okay, are you all confident?
Ma'am, how to like face that sort of scenario, like in case if the questions are very twisted and all, ma'am?
See, what I say is that all questions would not be too much twisted. Twisted depends on your clarity of the concept. Even the simple question may look twisted if you do not have a clarity. Okay. So what I say is that tricky questions, very tricky questions, do not take it up. But if you're very clear with the concept, then only you take it up. Okay, do not, that's what I'm saying, that don't attempt everything and lose out marks. Such I remember that you got less marks not because you didn't know the concept. Whatever concepts you knew, I mean, I'm talking about the mock test. Okay, whatever concepts you knew, if you had only ticked that, you know, and if you had avoided the negative marking, then your scores would have been really better, right? Because
Yes.
in the I mean, I'm not just telling Sachi, I'm telling this to everybody, because there are many students who had got more than 10, 12 questions wrong. Right. So then it actually decreases the thing. So if it is too tricky, do not attempt it. Too tricky. But you cannot not attempt everything, right? So you should at least attempt 65 questions, 60 to 60 questions for sure. For a better, see, it all depends on how have your previous exams have gone. Okay, so you want to score, you want to make up on the lost scores. Okay, you want to make up on the lost scores from a different subject or in through economics, then make sure that you attempt more, because there is a chance in economics you really can take. Okay, you can really attempt 75, 80 questions, 90 questions, 85 questions. Really good, I mean, if you are able to do it. But if you're not very confident, then do not try your luck there. Don't try your luck. Okay, because it
ma'am.
may turn out to be a bad luck. Don't turn your luck. Wherever you're confident, you do it. Got it, Sachi?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you will do well. Do not worry. Just think what, only thing you need to know is that what questions to be marked, considered.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Any other doubts? Any other doubts? No one has any doubt, is it? Okay. Uh, how many
Ma'am,
of you are tensed?
that's
Pardon me, Sachi.
we are just scared, ma'am. That's it.
Um, See, I tell you something. Okay. How many of you are scared? Only one person. The rest are absolutely not an ounce of fear, is it? Not an ounce of fear. Sachi, they are lying. Okay. Those who have studied, those who want to do good, those who want to perform well, will have at least an ounce of fear. Confidence is a different thing, okay? But this fear, I'm not talking about which would harm your performance, but which would boost your performance. Keep your fear level to that. How to do it? Okay? If you're too scared, first thing when you get into the classroom, examination hall, first thing is that you have to calm yourself, give yourself 2 minutes. In 2 minutes nothing is going to change. Okay, and when a question paper comes, you should not rush into all the questions. No, go one by one, slowly. Just have a get a kind of a pulse of the paper. Is this paper is something you can crack? Which you can definitely. I have no doubt about it. Okay, so only thing now you can do is that keep yourself calm. Tell yourself that this is not the first time anybody is writing economics paper. Crores lakhs of people have already written and lakhs of people are going to write. You are one among them and things will go well. My suggestion is that today brush it up. Do not spend much. I mean, if people say that don't sleep early, get up early. See, everybody has different way to do it. You know what works for you, you do it. That's it. Okay, I am not an expert saying that what you have to do, but only thing is that now you do not spend time on learning something very new. You don't have time for that. Very new thing, you just leave it. You haven't understood anything about these concepts. Okay, let's say that let's say theories of demand, money, theories of money. Okay, it's very difficult to you. You don't know anything. I'm not telling this to Sachi, I'm telling this to everybody. Okay, you don't know anything about it. Now you do not break your head on learning the theories of money. Don't do that, because that will only wasted time. But if you have, like, if you know 50%, but if you give another half an hour, it that will help you to make the concept all the more strong and concrete. Go for it. Okay.
Ma'am.
And then I tell you, in MCQ paper, more than how much you go through it, it's all about how have you understood the concept itself. Because all questions, as Sachi was expressing her anxiety, there won't be a direct question, tweaked only. Okay, the tweaked questions are more, but how you read it, read the questions twice, thrice, then you get the clarity. And you will not have time restrictions as such. Do you feel that MCQ papers you will have the time restrictions too?
Yes, ma'am. We must not like concentrate on that question for a long time. Like,
Yeah, that is there. But otherwise, compared to the descriptive papers, I want others also to speak. Compared to the descriptive papers, do you think MCQs are time-wise less pressure for the MCQ papers? I'm just asking you an honest opinion.
ma'am, based on today's experience, I felt that it was like we had in that paper also we had to be really very fast for like checking where we have went wrong and where we have to attempt.
Yeah. That is there. See, you have time limitation, right? So that is definitely be there. What I'm trying to tell you is that in descriptive paper, I mean, by the time you get to know that this question might be wrong, you would have already spent some 7-8 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
This problem you haven't calculated it in a right way. You have missed out on a step, you know. But the MCQ papers are not like that. You would get to know whether, see, when you read the question, when you read the answer, sometimes when you read the questions, you know whether you know this concept or not. Only when you get confused. Okay, so how you have to do it, how did you do your today's paper? Did you all answer all the questions? I mean, did you go through one by one?
Like, yes, ma'am. We went one by one, we did not attend all, ma'am.
Yeah, you didn't attend all, but did you go one by one after the other question? You, like, let's say the first question done, then you go to second question, you don't know, then you will think about it for some time and then go to third question. Is that how you did it?
No, ma'am, we didn't do like that. We just kept that later and went to the next question in
See,
case
I
we
tell
didn't.
you, MCQ papers you have to go through 3 times within the time. Okay. First, all that you are confident, which will take only few seconds for you to decide what is the answer. You are very good at it. One round. Okay. Second, you know it, but it takes some time for you to, I mean, you're little confused. Okay. You want to be doubly sure of your answer. Second round. Third round, whether to attempt it or not. Okay, so by the time you finish first and second round, you should have been marked around 60 to 65 questions. Third round is only about you should you go for it or not. Okay, so you're not going to spend time in the first round at all. So first round you tick. Okay, first question. Oh, I know this question. Answer. Second, I don't know. I'm not even going to read it. Third one. Fourth one, fifth one, I don't know. Sixth one, I know it, right? Seventh one, eighth one, 10th one, I know it, right? So that's how you're going to do it. So 3 round, you have to go through the question paper 3 times. So then what happens? You wouldn't miss out on something very simple where you know that you can answer tick the right option and get the marks. You will not miss out on that. Am I clear to you? Are you able to understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So this is how, so in the last round, even if you do not have much time, you won't be panicked because anyway you are not very confident about those questions. The chances are negative also very high when you are attempting those questions. So even if you're, because of the time constraint, even if you are leaving those questions, they are anyway not those questions which you are very confident of. Am I clear what I try to tell you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah, that's how you have to, do it. Even in the practice sessions, this is how you should have done it. Yes? Any other thing? This is the last exam, right?
Yes,
Correct?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, then you should be happy. Don't you remember? Seventh standard, eighth standard, ninth standard, last exam?
Ma'am,
Very
but this
happy.
different type of exam, no, ma'am.
I tell you something. See, all preaching will not work. Okay, R to C is sometimes very difficult for me. Listen to some music. I mean, make yourself relaxed. I tell you, pressure kills. The fear of failure kills more dreams than the real failure. Fear because mind amplifies. Mind, magnitude of the problem gets more and more because it is here, not actually in the paper, not actually in your understanding. Okay, these are all easy for me to say because I am not writing the paper. If I am writing the paper and if someone says that, I would say, please keep all your suggestions yourself. I have my own fear. Okay, but in the class there are many who said that you do not have a fear. I tell you, so such a, you know why I understand you, because I am that. I'm a scary cat. Even to this day, in the month of March, I get a I get a exam dream where I forget the hall ticket. I go and start writing, and I go and sit in the classroom, and then I realize that I get a different question paper. I have studied something and something else has come. All of these dreams, I still get it. Imagine, I still get it. That is because I have the exam fear. I'm not somebody who could be chilled about the exams. But I was somebody who was really, really hardworking before the exams. But even after that, the previous day of the exam, I mean, I easily used to lose around 2.5 to 3 kgs during the exam sessions. I'm that. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't drink. Okay. I am still that, no, right? I still keep writing the exams. My PhD entrance, I mean, not the PhD entrance exam, but there's colloquial exams and all. It all happened some 2.5 years back. My God, I was so scared. Okay. But I was scared, honestly, I was scared only till I reached the examination hall. Once I sit in the classroom, once I start writing, I'm not scared. uh, Touch it with the grace of my, the blessings of my teachers and the hard work, the exams that I have written, I could clear all of them. I think the secret is not that I had a great attitude towards the exams. I'm sorry, I'm a bad person to give a, uh, kind of suggestions on that. But I am very scared, and at the right time, I get all the courage. I cry a lot. I'm a cry baby. I cry a lot. I cry, cry, cry. 100 times I cry, and then I all of a sudden I become a very strong person. Crying makes me strong person. Fear makes me to be courageous. I'm not courageous by birth. I'm not, I'm not strong by birth. Acquired thing. I cry, cry, and then I become strong. I get shit scared, and then I become okay, courageous to write. And then results are in my favor. Honestly, results are. I mean, I should always be thankful to the life that I have got. I I wanted something, I got it. Okay, but I worked hard, really hard, damn hard. So do not worry. Go, write your exams. Little bit fear in your stomach, let it be there. Those butterflies are only push you to give your best. But if you're too scared, you lose your common sense and you make a silly mistake. Don't You can't afford that. Okay? Got it? So uh, just brush, quickly go through the glance the concepts and go for the exam. All the very best. The way you people have reacted in the class, understood the concepts in the class, I feel that you have a very great chance uh, in doing really